Here's another thing no one realized. Get ready for this and take a note. I know you don't know this. There are 500,000 American citizen Jews living in Israel. Under long-standing federal law, every one of them has voting rights in their original American state. There are enough American Jewish votes in Israel to swing New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania if they will wake up and recognize that the Democrats will destroy Israel and the Jewish people along with it, and it could be as soon as by Passover next year. There is a government website, the Federal Voting Assistance Program, or FVAP.gov, which Eve will put up in our show notes, devoted to assisting in the dissemination of overseas ballots and the counting of overseas votes. Here to tell us more is Mark Zell, who is spearheading the effort to identify and mobilize this extraordinarily consequential voter segment that could rewrite the election results. Here, take the screen, Mark, and take 3 minutes. What are you doing over there in Israel?
Well, Ed, thank you very much, and thank you for that both eye-opening and very troubling opening monologue that you provided here. You're right. We've got 500,000 potential American Jewish votes here in Israel, and we at the Republicans overseas in Israel, along with our other allies here, are trying to get a large percentage of those voters registered, get them to request their ballots, and then to return their ballots. It's a more complicated process than it is in the United States. But recently, Ed, we've been able to identify, which is our first task, over 200,000 American citizens here in Israel, and who come from all over the United States, including key swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Arizona. So we're going to, in the next few days, be contacting all of these people by phone calls and SMS messages and emails, whatever we can do to get them energized and informed. I can tell you, just tonight, just before we came on your show, Ed, I got a call from 2 or 3 Americans who've never voted in the United States elections, and they, between them, have close to 100 voters just in their own families. And so we're getting them registered today. And I just want to use your show to encourage all of you in the United States or around the world who have relatives in Israel who are American citizens to get them, to contact them and get them to vote. You got the website, www.fvap.gov. And if they need any help, we are here to assist them with videos and with materials to make the process easier, help them get their votes into their election boards around the United States. Thank you, Ed, for the opportunity to address your audience, and God bless you and all of your viewers here on your show. Thank you.
Well, before you go, Mark, I want to ask you a question. Do the Jews in Israel know what the heck is going on with the Democratic Party? Are they still voting Democrat like they were when they were living in Jersey and when they were living in Manhattan? What is the mindset of American Jews in Eretz Yisrael?
That's a great question, Ed. I can tell you that when I started this process for the Republicans almost 40 years ago. Most Jews here were voting just like their compatriots were doing in the United States. But today, because of what's happened with the Democratic Party, because of what's happened in the Republican Party, because of our own efforts here in Israel, I can tell you that in this election, something like 80 to 90%, I just saw a poll just a few moments ago, 93% of American Jews here in Israel are expected to vote for Donald Trump and the Republican candidates. And it's not just for president and vice president. It's also for Congress and Senate. We've got to keep the House of Representatives, expand our majority, and recapture the Senate in order to make sure that all of those things that you pointed out could happen will not happen after November 5th.
If you are completely successful, how many of those 500,000 votes do you think you can deliver, and how many for Trump and the Republicans?
Well, I can, as I told you, I've got right now, for the first time in our history, we've got a hold of 200,000 contact details for Americans here, and we believe through the use of technologies, we can expand that to exceed 300, maybe approach 400,000 of the 500,000 potential voters, and of those, you figure it out. 90% will likely vote for the Republican candidate. So it's amazing. It's amazing what we can do here, and a lot of that is happening because of the horrific events of October 7th. Americans here finally. It's not that the Americans support the Republican Party here in Israel, as do most Israelis. But the interesting thing is now, for the first time, first and second generation Americans in Israel understand the importance of registering and voting, not to sit on the side and just watch it like a spectator, but actually help to change history, save Israel, and save the United States.
Well, if you need inducements, you can get in touch with Phyllis. She's watching the show now. She's in Jerusalem. She will pay for falafel sandwiches to go to all of your prospective voters. How is that, Mark?
Fantastic. Get her to call me. I could use one right now, Ed.
All right. Thank you very much.